values in a unit circle. This is a table and they give us the degrees. So in the unit circle you have to search 45 degrees, and this in purple are the radians. So 45 degrees are equal pi over 4. So you have to search all of these. To search this one, you have to see these notes about sine is equal y. So this is x and y. So you have to put this value. Then in cosine, you have to put the x, and this is the x. Coordinates of the terminal points for the reference values in the unit circle. This is the unit circle, so if you want to search the values for this, for example, is x and y. So the 0 you have to look in the unit circle, so you mark x and y, and you have to put the numbers that are inside, 1 and 0 for example. And if you want to search pi over 6, you look in the unit circle and also is x and y, so you put the values at the same as the other. Then if you want to search pi over 4, also you have to put x and y and put the values. Then you have to do the same in these ones. The numbers are in positive. Why are in positive? Because the values that you search in the unit circle are in quadrant 1. This is the quadrant 1, this is the 2, the 3, and 4. And the values for the numbers in quadrant 1 are that sine and cosine are both positive. For example, here, sine and cosine are negative numbers.
Values of sine and cosine for the reference values in the unit circle. To remember the sine and cosines, we just need to know 5 things. The first one is the cosines are back and forth. The second one is the sines are up and down. The third one is the short length is 1/2. The fourth one is the medium length is √2 of 2 over 2, and the fifth one is the long length is √2 of 3 over 2. And then, like I know all the results, I can put in a chart like this one because it's easier to remember. And then I just need to know in which quadrant it is to put the sign, if it's positive or negative. Now we're going to have the 6 trigonometric functions for pi over 3. First, I check the denominator of pi over 3. Like it's 3, I get to my chart and check for another similar. Then I copy the sine and the cosine. And it's important to check in which quadrant it is. Like is in the first quadrant, the sine and the cosine is positive, so don't need to change. The tangent is sine over cosine, so the result is √3. Then the cotangent. The cotangent is 1 over tangent, so I made the operation and the result was √3 over 3. Then the second is 1 over cosine, and the result is 2. And then the cosecant is 1 over sine. Then we made the operation and the result is 2√3 over 3. So this is how you can get the 6 trigonometric functions for a value smaller than 2 pi.
So what if we're trying to find a negative angle using the unit circle? Well, here for minus 5 pi over 6, we will first have to locate the angle in the unit circle. So what I would recommend doing is dividing this space into 6 parts. Since this is a negative sign, then it will go from right to left, and we will have to divide the unit circle into 6 parts. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now it's divided into 6 pi. So 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, and 6 pi. Okay, so we're going to have 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, and 5 pi over 6. So in this angle, we will have our radians. So now what we need to do is to find the 6 trigonometric functions. Always remember that this stands for x, so that's a cosine, and this one stands for y, so that's a sine. So here are our angles, our coordinates, sorry. So what will be sine? Sine will always be y, so the y in this angle should be minus 1 over 2. Am I right? Now for cosine, cosine we always have x. X is this one, so minus root square of 3 over 2. For the tangent of this degree, we will need to divide y over x. So y being minus 1 over 2 and x being minus root square of 3 over 2, we will multiply the inner sides. So we will have 2 times minus root square of 3 will be left in the bottom. It will be 6, root square of 6, and minus 1 times 2 will leave us with a minus 2. So now we will have 2 over 3, which will always turn out to be positive when you are solving. So I'm just going to change it right now. And now we cannot leave a negative, not a negative. We cannot leave a root square in the bottom of a unit, so we will divide by the number that we have in the bottom, up and down. We will be left with 2 root square of 3 and only 3. Yes. Now for the cotangent, we'll have the same thing, only we will have x over y. So now we are going to flip it over. So we're going to have minus 3 over 2 over minus 1 over 2. Doing the same thing, just by multiplying the middle and the outer parts, I'm going to get 2 times minus 1 minus 2, and minus 3 times 2 will leave me with a minus 3. And now we can eliminate these ones, and we will only be left with a root square of 3. For the second, we are asked to divide 1 over x, so we're going to divide 1 over minus root square of 3 over 2. We will have to multiply with the reciprocal, which is in the bottom again, and we will multiply the bottom and top with it, so this will cancel out and we will be left with a minus 2 over 3. We're not going to leave this root square in the bottom, so we're going to multiply by the reciprocal again, and this will leave us with minus 2 root square of 3 and 3. This will be the answer for our second. For our cosecant, we will have 1 over y. So now we will have 1 over minus 1 half. We will do the same thing. We will multiply with the reciprocal. This one is easier because it doesn't have a root square, so we're going to multiply bottom and top. And this here. Now this 2 will cancel out, and we will be left with 2 over minus 1. And this will be our answer, minus 2. To find the 6 trigonometric functions for 7 pi, we will first have to find a reciprocal, not a reciprocal, just a complementary form of this angle in a smaller version of it. So we're going to start subtracting pi's. This will give you 5 pi minus 2 again, minus 2 pi again, will give us 3 pi, and this minus 2 pi again will give us just pi. So pi is located here, and the cosecant will be minus 1, and the cosine will be minus 1, and sine will be 0. So for the sine, which will be y, we're going to have 0. For the cosine, we're going to have minus 1. The tangent, which asks us to divide y over x, will give us 0 over minus 1, which will be equal to 0. The cotangent will be 1 over x, y over, over y. Y will be 0, which will be 1. And the second will be 1 over x. X is minus 1, so this will be minus 1.